Good morning. This is going to be a touchy subject, and pretty much I'm going to make somebody mad either way. But I feel like it's got to be addressed because I ain't seen that many people talk about it. And I'm not trying to talk ill of the dead either. And I know that's where it's going to be misconstrued. But I am trying to talk about facts and what's logical and what is not being played right. And whether it shows and shines light on what is obvious to me is this government that we have that is controlling us, watching our every move, is playing games or is being ran by an outside force, outside country that is basically influencing what's going on here, then so be it. I'm not trying to change the narrative to allow that to happen. What I'm trying to do is shed light on what looks to be very misleading. You know, I never considered myself a conspiracy theorist. I have questioned a lot of things over the years. And, typically before social media took over the way it is now, you had to wait 30, 45 years before you got the information. Before any of the information was given, you could question it all if you wanted to, but most of the time you didn't even question it until it finally hit the waves. Like there's a Zapruder film for Kennedy, you know, the Northwoods conspiracy with Cuba, the Bay of Pigs, the MK Ultra, the aliens, whatever it is. You've had to wait so long to get that information. Well, folks, the last 2 weeks we've been thrown some information that's really mind-boggling. Charlie Kirk was assassinated in public. He was assassinated by a regime that the right wants you to think is ran by leftists, that the left wants you to think is ran by right-wing, loyalists. All the while, both sides do not want you to look at and address the real elephant in the room. And I'll get to that in a minute. Charlie Kirk made enemies. Charlie Kirk was a Christian man, and will always be a Christian man. So was his family. But he also asked questions and seen things that caused him great suspicion, and he addressed them. And it caused him a lot of hate. He was worried leading up to his assassination. He was worried. He made several comments that he was feared for his life, that his family could be in harm's way. If you don't pay attention to the signs, you won't see what's going on. Folks, look, I'm just going to start from the beginning. It don't make sense. Right off the bat, the medical examiner says there was no exit wound. He even puts a statement saying the man must be made of steel because he was shot in the neck and no exit wound. Folks, I'm an avid deer hunter. I shoot a 30-06. And again, at first was stated that he went 200 yards. Okay, 200 yards without a, tripod or bipod. Yeah, with a 30-06 Mauser. Okay, that's fine. I'll give him that. If the 22-year-old child that they had as being the suspect and had him in custody was that man, I'll give it to him. In my opinion, I need to see him at the shot. But there was a problem. That no exit wound don't fly, boss. It don't fly. And any of you people out there that claim to be gun enthusiasts or deer hunters, if you cannot see that, the further the distance on them long cartridge 30-06 shells, the more ballistic damage, the more the bullet will shred. And when it shreds, it goes into meat and it will exit with an even bigger wound than if you was right up next to him. People think just the opposite. It's wrong. .30-06 makes more damage the further away it is. Now, you lose your velocity, you lose your elevation with the distance, but the bullet deteriorates further away, the bigger the exit wound. You're not going to tell me that 140 yard, they finally come back and says 140 yard shot, it's just going to be a shot in the neck. Well, folks, the shot in the neck, they claim, I want you to look at this. I want you to look closely at what I'm fixing to show you. I'm going to show you some new footage that just come out, and it'll show you that boy they've got up there, that Patel and that little quack bunch of Trumpians are trying to sell you is bullshit. The shot didn't come from the direction they're saying. That boy with that screwed up looking 30-06 with the scope sitting so far back, I mean, he would have knocked his own self, his eyeball out. There's no way. You could put that on a 22 or 22-250. You can't get away with it on a bolt action 30-06. This has been a sale, a ruse to cover up, to keep the prime suspect of Charlie Kirk suppressed and covered with a patsy. The bullet, folks, and the exit wound, I will show you. Pay attention. You got people out there that claim to be marksmen, that claim to be all this, avid gunmen, and nobody's even mentioning it. Nobody's seeing it. Folks, the shot came from the opposite direction. Charlie Kirk was shot in the back right, above his ear. The exit wound that they're trying to claim is the entry wound. Comes out the front. That's where the boy, Robinson, that's in jail, the 22-year-old boy with that Mauser, 30-06 Mauser, with a screwed up scope. They said carried it with all these videos showing this boy walking up to the catwalks, walking up the stadium. Again, this has been analyzed by a former Marine. This might be difficult for some of y'all to see. I'm going to show you where the ruse and the conspiracy starts. They're telling you that the shot hit Charlie Kirk in the front left lobe. It did not. It hit behind the ear, not in front of the ear. Hit behind the ear from the opposite direction. Again, this might be harsh, but you'll see it when the bullet hits. You'll see the recoiled blood, then the exit wound at the front. Folks, we've got a conspiracy going on. It's being ran by the highest parts of our government. You better open your ears and your eyes, folks. Pay attention.